Okay, today we're going to assemble a Tin Man. This is based on the Remco 1968 Tin Man, which was based on their Rudy robot. And again, this scale is 2.5 times smaller than the original. And I'm going to assemble it in the basic mode, so no forward reverse bump switch, just the real simple mode that any of you can do. Again, in this case I just had some white filament and I painted it. Took the easy way out. Plus all the parts were printed in the super fast mode, so they aren't very high quality. I figured maybe the paint might help hide some of that, but it doesn't. Paint always just kind of brings those flaws out. What I want to say, I've made two changes, which if some of you have already downloaded the STLs for the Rudy, you might want to check your body back and the toes, because I've made two changes. One on the toes, I went ahead and made the toes 2 millimeters shorter, so they're less likely to hang up if you have sloppy legs. This was based on the original Remco, as I said, Rudy robot, and the toes on that thing, there's like 1/8 of an inch clearance between them hanging up and not hanging up. And so this was very tight tolerance too. I've made it less tight because they don't need to be that long. The robot's plenty stable without the toes being an extra 2 millimeters longer. And the other change I made was in the body back piece. I've added this support piece right here. And this is something that the leg, when it's installed and in there, can rest against, and it gets rid of the slop. Without that, you could have some slop play like this. With that in there, then there's none of that slop possible. So you might want to see if you've downloaded that one, because I moved this file over to the Rudy section as well. Plus added, I think this was already on the Rudy one, I'd added some support up here to make this less likely to break off when you're pulling the support material out, because this thing prints laying flat, so there'll be all kinds of support material you have to yank out. I've already glued in, well, it's not, the glue hasn't set yet. I just put glue on it and shoved the battery holder and battery in there. Mounted the switch, simply interrupted the positive wire and soldered that onto one of the TT 48-to-1 motors, like so. Routed the wires around under this just to kind of make them all want to come out the back of the neck right there. I've already pushed on the two cams. They just push right on, so it's a D shape, and just push them on. Make sure you put them out of phase with each other or you won't get a good walking action. On the feet, the whole foot prints flat like this, no supports required, but the toes print separately, and then you simply glue them into their slots. I put glue on them and then just stand it right on something flat and let them dry up that way. On the arms of course print flat, no supports required, and then there's this arm linkage part, and I've got a number 2 screw in there, so you just put this in there. And the screw simply keeps the arm on the linkage. A person could glue it if they knew what angle they liked, but if you put a screw in there, then you can position it and pose it any way you want, and it won't be able to fall off. You do that, of course, to both arms. There's a left and a right arm. Just as over as the 2 feet, although they're identical, there's not a left and a right. The head, I split like the original Remco toy head, so both halves print flat like that, and then you glue the 2 halves together. And in the end, we'll just glue this neck hole into the top of the body. It doesn't move or anything like that. So if you've gotten this far, gotten your rear piece on there, you should be able to turn it on and should be able to get some action. If you're looking at this side of it, it should be rotating counterclockwise if you want it to walk forwards. And if you're looking at this side, of course it would be looking, this is the robot's right side. If you looked at it from that side, it would be turning clockwise. If turning the wrong way, just unsolder the two wires off the motor right there and flip them around. In my case, the red wire's in the back and the black wire's in the front. Not much more to it. To assemble, start with your legs. You slide them on the cams. They're going to kind of fight with each other while you're getting things set up and lined up, but that's just the nature of the beast. You'll be fighting with even more when you get ready to put the arms in, because your claws will kind of be fighting with each other as you're trying to get everything around where it needs to be. I don't know if I can do it and stay in camera. But you shouldn't have to force anything, so if you're forcing something, you probably want to stop and figure out what you're doing wrong. There we go. I got them both in there. They'll both fit down. Then you can take you kind of brace it with your little finger in the back where they're both kind of sitting on their post. You'll find the next part's easier. If you take one of the arms, that's going to fit right down onto that cam, and then this part should just sit in there, so you don't have to hold that while you're assembling it. And the one over on this side, over here, it's going to go exactly the same, like that. I'm on the verge of losing it all. Don't try to do this and try to aim it at a camera at the same time, trust me. And you're going to take your top shell, and if you've gotten everything together right, you should be able to put that shell on there, and everything should still feel like it's mechanically linked. I suggest holding it and turning it on at this point and make sure everything runs without binding. And it does. So at this point, if you were building the simple version, which this is, you could then take your head and you could put some glue on it. I tend to put the glue just on the back half, because that way if I ever want to unscrew it and take it apart again, I don't have the head holding the front and the back together. But it would look like that. Now, if you want to take this thing to the next level, but not go completely crazy, don't go with the forward and reverse and all that stuff, you can just find yourself any little of the step-up inverters, anything that'll take your 1.5 volts and boost it up to 5 volts regulated, and get yourself 3 flashing LEDs. These are 3mm LEDs. You're going to wire them in parallel. All the long legs solder together, all the short legs solder together. Long legs are your positive, short legs are your negative. Get like a 330 ohm resistor, something. It's not critical what. You could go anywhere from 220 ohms up to, I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can go up as high as you want. Probably even go up to 1K and it would probably still work. I don't know. I had some 330Ks. You just want to current limit it to some extent. And off your little boost regulator, you're going to want to solder that onto the same motor connections that you had so that you can power this up. Then you could put those LEDs, if you were so inclined, into the body like so, glue them in there, and then you could have the flashing LEDs in the chest. Let's set this in here. Now to hold the LEDs in place, you're going to need to glue them with something. And I've got a tube of the thick super glue that I can't get the cap off anymore. So I figured, well, I'm going to have to throw it in anyway. Maybe I'll just make a notch in it here and see if I can ooze out some of it. And if I can get some to come out, looks like I can, I'll just use that to hold the LEDs in. Maybe. We'll see. Would have been easier with thin super glue. But this is the one I had that was goofed up. So I figured, what the heck. Okay. Have no idea whether that's going to hold anything or not. I'm going to hit it with some quick set so I don't have to wait so long to find out. And maybe, just maybe, I'll put some tape where I nicked it to get the thick out. And maybe I can nick it again next time I need some thick super glue. Maybe it won't dry up. Tape doesn't want to stick. except to my fingers. Tape's sticking real good to my fingers. I thought maybe the tape would stick. Try it again. Okay, it looked a little better that time. So, if it doesn't work, I throw it away. I was going to throw it away anyway, and if it does work, we're all set. Alright, it looks like that's going to hold just fine. So I guess in order to solder onto that motor, I kind of need to take this thing a little bit apart so I can get to the motor. There we go. And I doubt that this is warmed up enough yet. It's getting there. Gonna make sure I get positive to positive. You don't want to burn up your little voltage booster by connecting to it backwards. Let's see if I can fish this around. Okay, I think it did. I think I can. Let's just kind of hold everything here and see. Okay, you see how I've got power. So I'm going to go ahead and try and assemble this thing. It is a bit of a balancing act trying to hold the legs, the motor, and the arms, everything in place so you can put the front on. But it's not impossible, or I wouldn't be able to do it. Okay. So I've got the voltage regulator hanging out the top. I'm holding the halves together. Okay. So now let's screw that lot together so we don't have to hold it. These are number 2 tapping screws. Don't need to over torque them. Just push them enough to get them in there. The one between the legs is the hardest to get into. You know, I should have started the screw in the back half before I even put any of it together. Yes, I dropped the screw. That's what that sound was. But I see it. We're in luck. Not only do I see it, but I'm going to try to put it in with a needle nose. Here we go. Alright, let's find out if things are working right. Yes, things are working right. So at this point, you can take all of this good crap and just shove it all up in the head and glue your head down and be done with it. The only thing I didn't talk about in this video, which I believe I covered in the other videos, is here was a test back piece. When you have cleaned all these out, I take a flat file and run it in along this side, clean that up so this side is real smooth, and this side, this is where the leg goes up in there. If there's any friction where those legs go up and if they can't move freely, it's not going to walk. On 1.5 volt set motor, which doesn't have enough power to run anything that's dragging or binding. Everything needs to move free and easy. So make sure you clean that up, and other than that, I believe that's it for making the little Tin Man based on the Remco Rudy the robot from 1968.